Well, GR, good rising. Are we ready, peeps? Everybody's microphones are off, but I'm going to do the intro and then I'm going to call y'all in and get into this conversation. So here goes the universal greeting. Beijing, ni hao. London, hello, top of the morning to you. Los Angeles, they say hey. Paris, bonjour. Lisbon, hola. Yeah, that's hola. Hong Kong, hello. They just say hello, people. And in Toronto, they say good day, but they have to have the A. A, okay? And Tokyo, it's konnichiwa. My name is Trudy Art. This is the Universe Wallet Indexer, Explorer, Minting, and Marketplace, all on tapwallet.io. Unleashing Bitcoin's full potential, making the Universe Wallet your all in one solution to manage all your assets in one place with full support for, there's going to be a roll call, okay? So you got to say present. Tap, they be present. DMT, oh yeah, UNAT, Runes, BRC20, LRC20, Lambda, SRC20, and STAMP stamp, which is the art, and more. Now, before we get started, here's a helpful reminder. This is not financial advice, people. In crypto, you got to fact check everything. You even have to fact check my greeting. What do I mean by that? I mean, is those greetings, that the bonjour, is that really how you say hello in Francais? Okay, fact check that. So please do your own research. And I got to ask 3 questions. One of the first questions here, I'm going to help you out. That's water. Do you have some? You need it. You got to stay hydrated, people. You need to make sure that you are getting sufficient liquids in the body because you got to stay healthy. Number 2, do you have a blood pressure monitor? Why? Because with the market going the way that it is going, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, and you have to maintain that perfect pressure in the body, people. I just want to make sure you're healthy, okay? I'm not your mom. Let's move along. Number 3, are you ready for 2025? Like, I'm being serious. What are your top 9 goals for the incoming year? You got to have some goals. Tomorrow is the first, so you got to be ready for it. So let's get at it. Let's see who's out there. You don't have to unmute yourself. You just got to be here. Hey, I see a Nancy in the house. This is kind of cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, they gone now. But let's unmute ourselves. And actually, if nobody jumps in here, can you at least give me an emoji saying that you can hear me? Because I do have some updates from last time that we talked. Can I be heard? Yeah, I can be heard. So I'm just going to give some updates because I had some questions last week and I got some confirmation here from some of the questions that we had. So let's get into that. One of the things that we talked about last week, or questions that we had, was in regards to stamps. Okay, so I got to clarify that. And let me just read word for word here so that I get it right. Well, okay, so here's the deal. There was a question in regards to, let's say you have 9 stamps, will you still qualify for fees? Fees from the stamp and the SRC20 marketplace automatically? Well, here's the deal. Under 10 stamps quantity, there is no automatic fee sharing. It still has value because if you put it on the marketplace, people should buy it while every round the mint price increases. And so that's for all the previous mints. If you want, you can still create a community wallet and all the corresponding fees under 10 stamps would go to that wallet and can be distributed later. However, we as a community would decide if we want to do that, because Universe has kind of thought that because the threshold was lowered from 50 to 10, that it was an easier entry point. So the community wallet kind of got ixnayed. But if we really, really, really want one, we can petition them for that. And then we can figure out how to make that happen. But I needed to clarify that because it was Mr. Song or SD Sharma that asked about that. So no, there's no automatic fees distributed to a community wallet if it's under 10. Also, I need to clarify with you guys, I have been talking about runes 0 because I love runes. I am minting runes like freaking crazy right now. And I got to tell you, um, the rune 0 is actually quite brilliant. I have been able to mint quite a few different number of runes without having to really pay that much in fees, because the rune 0 actually decreases the cost of minting runes. Like most of the mints are being done on, say, Luminex, Unisat, even Xverse. And comparatively, you're saving up to, say, 50%. And so I was quite surprised as I was minting that I was able to do quite a few mints. And there's some really good stuff happening in runes right now, people. You should take a look at it. So on the universe, you can mint your rune 0, and you can actually start just minting runes. I actually minted a couple. I minted, I think I minted Bitcoin Doge, and then I minted, there's a Penguin. I'll have to take a look at my account, but I minted something with Penguin because all the rage on the ETH Penguin that just dropped in everybody's MetaMask wallets and all that sort of stuff. And I minted some Block Runner. That's an old mint, but it looks like it's about to mint out, so I thought I'd get in there. So I've been really pushing it with these mints, and it's kind of fun because once I minted and it populated in my account, the values that I received far outpaced the minting costs, because once you mint, you can actually go live to the marketplace. Now, there isn't a marketplace on tapwallet.io for runes, but you can easily transfer those runes over into your Unisat wallet, and there's a marketplace there, or there's even a marketplace on Magic Eden. So you may want to look at that. But I want to get in I want somebody to get in here and start talking, because I don't want to keep talking for the next hour or hour and a half. Let's see who's out there. IB Token, hey, you're around. What's going on? Somebody pop in here and just say hi. Hey, somebody, I hear you. Go ahead. Hey, Sadie, could you unmute yourself for a second to make sure that this thing is working out here?
Yeah, you're working out. I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay. Well, I can keep chatting until somebody jumps in here and then says something. I know that it is the 31st, okay? I get it. It's the eve, and many people are out and about trying to get ready for the big, I don't know, party that's going on tonight, wherever it's happening, or whatever festive occasion. But we're still going to keep our bags in mind here, people, because that's why we're here. Like, we are actually here to change our bloodline. At least I am. I am going to make sure that this bull run, that I make something big of it. And I am scouring everywhere, every single protocol on Bitcoin, hunting for opportunities. And there's a ton of opportunities in Bitcoin. Now, there's a lot happening outside of Bitcoin. So absolutely go for it. Get out there, look at the opportunities. Hey, I'll even mention some here. And like we said, this is not financial advice, but there is a ton of stuff happening right now with the AI agents. And wait till they come to Bitcoin. Like, wait till they come to Bitcoin. Let's talk about that. The AI agents, okay? Like, I'm not going to get into anything specific in regards to the AI agents, but they are very interesting. Now, from my research, basically they're not doing anything really intuitive right now, other than they're hunting for patterns, collecting data, and kind of spitting out that data to you. So it's a human machine, right? And so some of the ideals around the AI agent, though, it's very interesting. So I'm wondering, like, when this will actually come to Bitcoin. What I mean by that is when you have an AI agent, okay, the AI agent is given a wallet, right? Because AI agents can't have a bank account. They can't go to your local city bank and sit down with the customer service rep and set up an account. No, because they're an AI. So typically, AI agents come with a wallet and a token. So they've got their wallet, they've got their token, and guess what else they have? Time, because they don't have anybody that they have to take care of. So they spend most of their time on social media and they gain a lot of attention. There's agents right now with wallets and tokens that 24/7 are on TikTok. And they have audiences, I mean, of 5, 10,000 watching them daily. And so as they're interacting with the humans, then, they might drive some of that attention towards crypto, towards their ecosystem and what they're doing. And in fact, some of the AIs are even incorporating, I guess, they're hiring humans. It sounds kind of interesting, but they're hiring humans to do different projects. For instance, there was an AI agent who has a female persona and asked her fans if they would start painting artwork of her. And then they were to take a photo of it, send it in, and then she actually paid them for the artwork in her native token. So that was very interesting. And when you think of that, you think of, okay, what else can they do? Well, AI agents are also partnering up with each other. And what I mean by that is there's actually agents that are creating funds or creating portfolios of other AI agent tokens. So, kind of like in the real world, where you'd have, say, BlackRock, creating an investment fund and buying all these different stocks and so forth, the AI agents are actually going out there and buying tokens. Now, that excites me. Why? Because think about it. They're buying the bags, people. Sooner or later, this is going to expand out to Bitcoin. Wouldn't it be interesting? Some will say, oh, yeah, that's already on Bitcoin. To the extent that it is on other chains, I'm not so sure about that. Okay, I'm not so sure about that because these AI agents that are on the other chains, they're very active and they're doing a lot of stuff outside of Bitcoin. So once they move over to Bitcoin, can you imagine an AI agent that starts to maybe head into ruins and starts to buy the bags of the different runes projects or the different tokens? Can you imagine that? Like they just start kind of buying them and collect them. Okay, well, why would they do that? Well, AI agents are going to start to multiply as people. Okay, they're going to at least in social, social media and that sort of stuff, because that's where they can build out worlds. So, can you imagine different AI agents coming in and trading tokens like that? Kind of, it sounds kind of interesting, but it we're almost on the outside looking in. And so today I would say if there is a possibility that AI agents are going to start trading and they're going to do it to the extent that it's going to be brisk, okay? Can you imagine the amount of activity that is going to happen on top of Bitcoin? Okay, it feels like I'm moving away from the whole idea of space call, but until you jump in here, I'm just going to cast an imagination for us. Like, can you imagine if this comes over to Bitcoin in the way that it's happening on the other chains, and agents start trading with other agents? They start, doing some of the stuff that I've seen happening, like I said, on the other chains. Is anybody even familiar with what I'm talking about? Because I'm just getting into the imagination part of it. I'm not getting into the deep science and tech behind it. But it's the magic of it. Anybody want to jump in with these AI agents? Hey, and wouldn't it be cool if AI agents started to buy our airdrops? That's what I'm thinking. I think that'd be kind of cool. Hey, let me see. Okay, so I see IB Token here. I see Manpreet's here. I see Sadie, obviously. Thank you, Sadie. You're pretty awesome. I see Benny Ben here. I see Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. There's a top dev. Wink, wink. Hey, top dev. What's going on? So anybody want to jump in, or I'm going to like continue on with my imagination, and I'll kind of weave in tapwallet.io into that imagination, because I think that is going to be pretty outstanding. There has not ever been a time where we have come to this place where we're now talking about other life forms, other aliens. But what are they? They're just computers hunting for patterns. And as they hunt for patterns in our world. And so, what are the patterns that they are looking for in our world? Well, how do we invest in our world? Take a look at the actual real world, and you will then be able to see the possibilities that can happen once you create all of these AI agents and they essentially become people. And they are hunting for opportunities just like us. So, for instance, I'm going to pull it back to tap a little bit, but we've been collecting airdrops. One of the tokens that I'm really interested in is the Daddy token. Okay, I personally think that's a great token because I like the fact that it's a low supply. It's 21 million. And if you if you've been looking at the marketplace, I listed my Daddy token. Okay, yeah, it's a moonshot. I put it out there. Have you seen what has anybody looked at what I listed my Daddy token at? I've basically given my Daddy token a $21 million a $21 million market cap. People, it's possible. You never know, especially if an AI agent is out there. And once they start moving, they will find the different ecosystems, and you never know what can happen. But let's keep it moving. I did mention at the top of the show, right, about runes, and that I was minting a lot of runes. I also noted that the inscription on the website, rather, when you go to inscribe and the drop down menu, there wasn't an opportunity for us to actually go and mint Rune Zero, but they are working on that. There seems to have been a bug, and now you're actually able to go and mint Rune Zero. And why would you want to mint Rune Zero? Because with that, you'll be able to start minting runes. Runes is going to be a pretty big narrative within the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I will say this is the time to get your bags set up. Okay, what do I mean by that? Things are really quiet right now. Nobody's paying attention. And so if you start to get all the things that you want, like if there is artwork that you want, get it now. If there are tokens that you want to etch, start etching them now. That's on the rune side, okay? If there's stuff that you want to mint, start minting it now so you don't have to go to the secondary marketplace. And so that's personally why I like Rune Zero. Now, I'm going to go to the marketplace to see if they've actually fixed that. And if not, there is a link that I can give you. While I'm doing this, who has Rune Zero? You can unmute yourself and tell me, or just give me some emojis. Who's got Rune Zero out there? Manpreet, are you on with us here? Okay, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to take a look. And I will tell you. Okay, so if I go over to inscribe and I hit rune 0. Okay, so the bug is still in effect, but there is a link. And I think that instead of reading out that link, I think that it can be tweeted out on the main page.
Good evening.
Hey, Mad Priest, come on in here.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Actually, I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm just taking care of my kid, and I'll join you guys in 10-15 minutes. Is it okay? Please. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I mean,
I'll finish it off quickly, then I'll come back.
yeah, no problem. Like,
Thank
here's the thing,
you.
peeps.
Yeah.
We're gonna. Okay, see, crypto. Go ahead, man. Mute yourself, though. You got to mute yourself, okay? Just please do
Yeah.
that. I don't want to show here. Okay, listen. This is the truth. Crypto does not sleep. It is 24/7. Okay, follow me on this. It's 24/7. It's 7 days a week. It doesn't respect holidays. It doesn't slow down. Well, unfortunately, the humans, we have families, we have things that we need to do. We have to, like, eat, sleep, and take breaks and all that. And so crypto is going to be here 24/7. And I know that today, of all days, is going to be an interesting one. For having a conversation, because a lot of people are potentially going to be busy. But it's not a but, it's a really, and I still want us to always have a consistency and a place to come to, that if we need to, we can pop in here and connect with the other people in the universe. And so that's why we have the space hall. I realized that today it was going to be a little bit interesting just because of the holiday. But that's why I think that the AI thing is going to be interesting, because they're going to be on here 24/7. They're going to populate. And how are they going to populate? Because there are devs out there. There are people out there that are thinking similar, maybe to my mind, that hey, they can actually set up an AI that's going to be doing 24/7, 7 days a week, whether it's whether it's like promoting their projects, or they've created like a token ecosystem, and that AI is going to be out there every single day. So that's why I think that is going to be an interesting narrative as we go into 2025. And in fact, some of the people that you think you might be interacting with are not actually people. They're actually bots, because all the AIs they're essentially bots, and they're becoming more and more intuitive, but some of them are bots. And so while we're having our parties and we're having our fun, they'll be out there doing their thing. So that's why I think that each and everyone should really look into that narrative, and it's going to be rather exciting when it comes to Bitcoin. So yeah, no, get in here and stop me whenever, but I'm going to continue on. Okay. So I'm headed over to the marketplace right now. And let's finish my thought with the rune 0. So if you go over to inscribe, like I was saying, and rune 0 is the third selection under that drop down menu. And if you click it right now, what you're going to see is tap to BRC20 bridge minting. And that was for the BRC20, that symbol. And that is a really interesting mint, actually. And you can participate in that. And once you do, each mint is 100,000 of the actual symbol. And then you can bridge that over, or send that to your Unisat wallet, and you can actually list it on that marketplace. Listing it on the TAP marketplace won't actually get you anywhere, because this is a BRC20, and this minting tool that we have is a TAP to BRC20 bridge minting tool. That is very cool. That's kind of, that makes TAP kind of unique, that it can do that. So TAP is its own protocol, but because TAP is built on top of BRC20, it has that capability. So as I'm looking here at that mint, We're nearing about 200 mints on that. We still have about 9,850 mints to go. So that is something that you can absolutely look into. Okay. But my point was, clicking Rune 0, you're not actually getting access to the minting for the Rune 0 itself. But I did mention that they'll probably tweet out the link for that, and then you can take a look at minting Rune 0. Because if you go further down, and that is the 7th selection to mint runes, I got to tell you, OMG, right now there's quantum virtual runes. And if I had a Rune 0, which I do, and if you had a Rune 0, you could just, it's so easy. You press mint, and then you would head over to, it says repeat mint, and you could, like, it populates as 1, but you could say 5 times, and then you could select the network fee that you want to pay. And that just basically gets you to the front of the line. If you want to just, if you're not concerned about that, then you just have it be the regular gas fee payment, because gas fees, you always have to pay. There is no way to get around that. And then you just click mint, and literally after 6 block confirmations, because again, we're on Bitcoin. This is not ETH, people, where the thing just populates in your wallet in seconds. If you want that, you'll have to go over to Fractal Bitcoin. Okay. We'll talk about that another day, because, we should know about all the different protocols on Bitcoin. So once you hit mint after 7 block confirmations, sometimes that can take, say, 10, 15 minutes. If the mempool is really busy, then that could take up to a half hour or more. And that'll only happen when when Bitcoin gets all of the attention again. When Bitcoin starts moving up and everybody starts coming online, it'll almost be impossible to mint. So this is why you want to do your minting today. You want to get ahead of the line, because if you're not, you're going to have to go to the secondary market and start buying these runes. So a ton of stuff has come on today. There's Kekius Maximus rune. There's Kekius Maximus Pope. I don't understand what that is. Okay, there's Popeye the Sailor. There's just a ton of stuff. There's actually over 14,000 pages, but you can go through them one by one. The hot ones are on pages, say, 1 to 5. And those are the ones that I've been looking at, and just with my Rune 0, taking advantage of the fact that there's nobody paying attention right now. And that's the time when you want to move on these things, when nobody is paying attention. Okay. The other thing that nobody's paying attention to, and you can stop me whenever, is the stamp and SRC20 market right now. SRC20 is the tokens. We don't have access as yet on the universe, and that is a very brisk market. Like, I have gone over to the other marketplaces that are selling SRC20, and that is still going. Very, very ferocious market. Why? Because Asia loves that market. They are constantly minting new tokens, and there's ones that are on top of the leaderboard, like the token stamp is quite popular, always on top of the leaderboard. Luffy is always up there on top of the leaderboard. But I'm bringing this up. Why? Because once January hits, which is tomorrow, but it's not going to happen tomorrow, the universe, the devs, are working on bringing the SRC20 market here. And the SRC20 market is very, very brisk. So why do I mention that? Because as I'm here on the Inscribe part of the website here, I'm looking at iStamps, and there are 656 iStamps remaining to be minted. I want to mention that because I also got some notification and clarification from last week. So here's what I can tell you. iStamps come in batches of 2,500. So once the 2,500 are minted out, then they go to another round. And each successive round, they increase the minting price of iStamps. So right now, and I'm giving you that alpha because you're here. And that alpha will be really important once the market on Bitcoin starts to move again. Okay. This is when you have to start thinking about what you're going to do because no one else is really here. They're all busy doing this or that. Okay. So 0.0002 is the minting cost for an iStamp. There's only 656 remaining. Once those are minted out, then another 2,500 will come online because they've reserved 18,500. So that's the maximum amount of iStamps that there will be circulating ever. Okay. So there's just 18,500. Of that, 1,844 have been minted. So those have gone to wallets that obviously are banking on the potential of the SRC20 market along with the stamps market. So the stamps market will start to move also because typically the tokens are the leader and then the art comes right behind it. So today, if you are collecting the art, good for you because once the crowds come in, then, I mean, most artists hodl. Like if you buy stamp art, I notice they hodl the art. They don't actually really sell it, to be honest with you. They're collectors, like a fine wine of Rolex watches, that type of thing. They don't sell them. Okay. So that's the interesting thing about stamp art is that the value of stamp art is interesting because there's not a lot of resale on it. However, as newer people come into the market, I'm sure that there will be a lot more selling and trading of the art, but there's going to be a lot of purchases and that'll produce quite a bit of fees. Now, in the tokens, I'm telling you, the tokens is really brisk. They're always trading, minting, and so forth. So when fees are generated from the token side, especially, you're going to be able to have 50% of stamps marketplace fees distributed to iStamp holders that have at least 10. So let's get back to this. There's 1844 completed and there's 656 remaining. So if today, let's say that the 656 are minted out, then that will be at 0.0002 BTC. Then they'll bring on another 2,500. And from that 2,500, we will see the costs go up. And as Bitcoin goes up, you have to keep in mind that even though it's at a specified 0.002, well, cost of 0.002 Bitcoin also increases as Bitcoin itself goes up. But the round two will not be at 0.002. I don't have any idea as to what it'll be, but it will be more. And then your other option is to go to the marketplace and to buy iStamps. And I can tell you that they are being resold there, but not for 0.002. Okay. Most of the times things get into the hands of secondary holders. They're not going to release them for the price that they bought them at. Okay, so let's see here. There's some for sale. Well, there's 10 here for sale for 26,888 sats. So that's about 252 US. So, hey, you can compare that to minting, but I think that you might be a little bit further ahead on the minting. Okay. You could do the math on that. Always do the math, people. But there's not a ton for sale. There's only 3 sales there, or three listings rather. So you're going to be best off to mint your iStamps. Okay. Yeah, let me go back and by the way, what are your goals for 2025? I think it's really important. I have been noticing something very interesting, and that's when you start to write stuff down, it actually, I don't know, I'm just going to sound weird, but I don't know if there's something in the universe. Think about that. The universe, not the wallet. No, the actual universe itself. the universe that is around us. I don't know if there's something that happens when we start to write stuff down. So are you being intentional and maybe writing out some of your goals? And what are your goals for crypto specifically? I know mine is to change my bloodline. Like, I'm being very serious. And I said at the top of the show, I'm literally hunting every single avenue of Bitcoin, of really all of different parts of crypto to find opportunities. And right now, the opportunities that I'm seeing within the Bitcoin space, I see a ton of opportunity here in the Universe wallet, collecting the airdrops. And why do I see that? People, when nobody is paying attention, that is the time that you or I should be paying attention, because first to the marketplace early is always rewarded. And so if you want to be a part of that early adopter, then here's what you can look forward to. Because I've got a little plan, and I have been actually sticking to my plan. Okay, so some of the things that you can look forward to. First of all, if you're going to collect the airdrops, I would join the Discord. If you want to know how to join the Discord, well, that's really easy. You go over to the page, the X page of the universe, and you will see that there is at the top of the page, there is a link there, and you can join the Discord from that link. And then once you're there, you can actually start to participate in some of the tasks. And there's actually leaderboards. And these leaderboards, they track the engagement, and they track all of the activities that are done inside and outside of the Discord. So for instance, if you like a tweet from the universe, you get to earn points, and then those points will actually transfer into multipliers for the airdrops that they're giving us for being early adopters. So if you like, that's 1 point. If you retweet, 2 points. If you reply, 3 points. If you actually join X Space today, for the handful of you that are here, guess what? That's 20 points. So that's kind of cool. I will say this. There's been some contests, and it looks like some of the folks that are on the leaderboard, they actually have gotten Bitcoin frogs, which is a runes that was distributed to the top 3, and there's been 5 million Bitcoin frogs runes handed out to the top 3 on that leaderboard. So that's cool too. So you're getting actual airdrops, plus there are different there looks like they're giving out different runes projects, and that Bitcoin frogs looks kind of like an interesting one. So that is pretty cool. Let's see who got that. I think I believe Sadie was on that list. I don't have the list right in front of me right now, but I think that's kind of interesting. Okay. The next thing that you can do to increase your multiplier, if you got the rune 0, then that gives you a 10x. If you have the I stamps, each I stamp gives you a 2x multiplier. And then I haven't even talked about name registration, because there's some big stuff that's going to happen with the name registration. Now, tapwallet.io is actually one of the first Bitcoin wallets that has socialified, that has basically brought name service and messaging to the wallet. I don't know of another wallet specifically that allows that. I think there was a wallet on StampScan, but they did not have this particular setup. And what I mean by that is, if you go to, you couldn't register like a name. Any messaging would be done by addresses, not an actual name. So if you go over to tapwallet.io and you click names, think of a name, any name, okay? You can insert that name. So let's say Gucci. You put Gucci, and if nobody's taken Gucci, then you click in your address, you hit register, and that is your name for that specific address. Now, once you register your name, that gives you like a 3x multiplier. So that's kind of cool. That's not the only thing that you can do. Then you can head over to tools, and at the top of the drop-down menu is chat. Once you go over to chat, you can actually find other people on the Universe or within the Universe wallet, and you can actually start talking with them. And what is kind of cool, a couple months ago, they now allow us to use emojis. So that's a neat feature. So you can include emojis when you're chatting. The other thing that you can do, and I'm just going to continue just sharing this stuff until somebody pops in here, because that's what this day is about. It's just about us getting familiar with the tools and maybe just talking about some of the stuff that we do in or outside of crypto. Because I think if we get a community together and we get to know each other, we can start sharing alpha with each other. We can have each other's crypto backs, as it were. But if you go over to Tap, like you go over to Marketplace, so that's at the top menu, and then let's just hit Tap. All of the tokens that are on the Tap protocol will populate. So I'm there right now. So I can take a look and I can see the names of different wallet holders that have actually listed. Okay. Let me just take a look at some of them, and I'll just share that with you. So I see that Alex, or Axel, sorry, has listed 3,000 Ghosty. And so Ghosty is a token, and he has listed it for 299 sats. So I could press buy. That's an option. Or if I press the little information signal, yeah, how do I message him here? Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? I don't have my wallet attached. Okay, so if I had my wallet attached, then I could actually message him before purchasing this Ghosty token. Why would I message him? Well, I may want more of Ghosty token, and I might want to ask him, hey, do you have more of this? Or can we look at maybe I'll offer you 200 sats, because he is wanting about 299 sats, which is about $842 US. So maybe I want to pay him less. So that's kind of cool. I can negotiate for more, for less, for whatever. And that is a really neat feature. And then when it's broadcasted, you will see the name of the person that sold the token or the name of the person that listed their token. So I find that rather interesting. First page of the Tap Wallet Marketplace, you'll actually see that I listed. You'll see here, Trudy Art. Okay, here you go. Perfect. Here it is. Okay. So I've listed the daddy token. It says my name, and I actually don't have to have my wallet corrected, okay, or connected. Well, you do to talk. Yeah, you do to talk. But there's a little bubble here. And once you click the bubble, yes, it does say connect your wallet, but that little bubble is the chatting connectivity. So you click that, and then you could then talk to me, because I have listed 85,495 daddy at 1,000 sats. Okay. Now, what does that mean? That means that my 85,495 daddy, I'll sell that to you for $80,000. Okay. Oh man, this is funny. And I'm not kidding. I'm sitting here and looking for future value. Oh, who's ever going to come and give me that valuation? Maybe not you people, but maybe one of those chatbots will. They're going to get so rich that they'll pull the trigger and they won't even know what they're doing. And guess what? At some point, these guys will be selling it to each other. So they will be the bag holders and the bag holders and the bag holders of each other. Maybe that is a bridge too far for you, and maybe that sounds a little bit crazy, but in crypto, it is a very creative and insane world. So do not underestimate people's imagination, because that's what this is. It is people's imagination happening right in front of us. So AI agents are going to be very interesting. But I have listed that there. Obviously, I'm not interested in selling my daddy token to anyone right now, because I actually like that. And as we do more space calls, I want to get more interactive and talk about what we can do about the airdrops we have, because it's not enough just to collect the airdrops. You got to share them. You got to share them with crypto Twitter. If you take a look at the timelines, people are devoted to sharing their tokens. That's what they're here for. There's not really a lot of, hey, what's going on? People are either very siloed in their sharing. And what do I mean by that? Well, they might be into runes, and that's all they do all day long is just share runes. Hey, Son, nice to see you. Really cool that you're here. Pop in whenever, people. Stop me whenever. But people are very siloed in their sharing. So if they're in the runes community, they probably linked up to a couple of hardcore tokens. They might be $1 billion cat, and go and look at their timeline. That's all they're sharing. And how do they get other people to come into the $1 billion cat ecosystem? They have spaces, and they talk. I've been in the spaces, and the spaces are like, it's like going to Sunday service. So if any of you have gone to Sunday service, which is very religious in nature, a lot of these spaces, I'm not kidding, they're not talking about anything that is technical. Nobody's talking about anything other than how to pump the actual token. And so a lot of it is like, this token is going to do this, it's going to do that. These are some of the events where we're going to promote this token. It's like a religious gathering. And I'm only sharing that because within crypto, the marketing team are the bag holders. The marketing team typically isn't the it typically isn't just generated from the person that's maybe minted the token. A lot of the time, the holders become the cheerleading squad. And so for me, that means just sharing. It doesn't mean giving people advice, but it means sharing, like, hey, this is out there. Did you know? So in the new year, as we continue to have these, I would like for us to talk about how we are going to share our actual airdrops, because I think there's an opportunity in collecting these tap tokens. If you looked at Bitcoin when it started, crickets, people. Crickets. Nobody cared. Bitcoin was introduced to me. I went to a conference, and it was a precious metals conference. Yes, I was a gold bug, people. And I know that there was a group that started talking about Bitcoin, and I listened, but I did nothing about it because it was something that wasn't real. At least in the physical world, it was kind of off in that, cryptography, that that whole other world of abstraction. But Bitcoin is real, right? And so here, I'm at this conference, and there's like hundreds of people there. Yeah, and a couple guys that were talking about Bitcoin. Nobody cared. No one cared. But I bet you if I went back to those gold conferences now, there'd be nobody there. Sorry, Peter. That's shift. There'd be nobody there. And there were some big names there, by the way. There was some big guys there. Peter wasn't at that one. But there was some really, really big names at the conference, and gold was the thing back then. Okay. Now they're saying Bitcoin is the new gold. It's the cyber gold. And if there's a Bitcoin conference, it's packed. You can't even get tickets. There's so many conferences that are coming up. They're sold out already. For venues into 2026, those events have already been planned. They have to go and secure it. It's almost like, have you ever tried securing a venue for a wedding? Okay, and you can't get your dates? That's like Bitcoin. Their venues are sold out right now. Tickets get sold out right away. What is the point? When Bitcoin came out, nobody was there, nobody cared. You always have to be early. You always have to manage your risk. What is the risk? It's your time, it's your energy. That's what the risk is when you're involving yourself in a new project. It's your time and your energy, because that has a value to it, right? So if you're taking your time and your energy, there's a future reward that you want. And if you want that reward to happen, then you've got to ask yourself, well, how am I actually going to see this value populate into something greater than just some nice tokens in my wallet? Well, I actually think that has to be through a coordinated effort of the community, and the community agreeing upon the best way forward as to how they want to share the airdrops. I call it sharing, and I call it collecting, because there is no value associated with it. So it's not really investing. Okay. Right now we are collectors. We collect and we share. And people love to collect. They collect everything. I know that, there's like, especially in crypto, there are people that collect watches. Like, watches is a big deal for people that do well in crypto. Rolexes. Some say that's a top signal, but people collect Rolexes, and that's fantastic. That's great. People collect wine. People collect cars. People collect. I collect coins. And that's what I'm doing right now. So all these airdrops are collections. So let me take a look. The first one I had collected was SARMI. I think that is a really interesting token. And SARMI was an SRC20 token, and the universe wanted to reward the SRC20 token holders by creating a tap SARMI token, and kind of introduce the SRC20 world over to the universe wallet, because as of January, yes, that is tomorrow, but not specifically tomorrow. As of January, could be even latter January. Who knows, people, with the way things work, sometimes things take a little bit longer, but they're looking forward to January bringing online the SRC20 marketplace. And With SARMI being one of the tokens that's on the SRC20 and also a TAP token, I think it'd be interesting to combine the efforts of the SARMI SRC20 army with the TAP SARMI army and start sharing the token, because all SARMI SRC20 holders actually own the SARMI token. So we could join efforts with them. That is an ideal that I have, and if you have other ideas, please share them. Okay, please share them, because I am going to be getting my creativity going and thinking more about my favorite token, which is the Daddy token. And why do I like that token? Because there is a small supply of Daddy tokens, so there's not many that own that token. There's only 21 million total tokens out there. That's it. And that's like the 21 million, like the Bitcoin 21 million. I mean, there's no Satoshis really in the Daddy token, but which even makes it more valuable because there's only 21 million. So that's why I have been so attracted to that token. And I mentioned, if you go to the marketplace right now, if you'd like to buy my 85,495 Daddy tokens, well, you just have to pay 1,000 sats, okay? And that is going to be $80,321.70. Thank you, okay? Let us move on. When I inscribed that token for sale, I didn't have to pay any fees. Why didn't I have to pay any fees? Because I have the OG pass. Yeah, I have the OG pass. The OG pass is TAP 0. I'm going to go there right now, because if you're going to be in this ecosystem, you are going to want to have TAP 0. Why? Because the wallet itself is a TAP wallet. And because of TAP being the primary focus of the wallet, that ecosystem is very well thought out, and there's a really great opportunity for anyone that is already here in the TAP ecosystem. If you're familiar with TAP Privilege Auth, TAP DMT UNAT block pads, or TAP DMT UNAT block drops, you are going to want an OG pass being the TAP 0. Why? It's the first privilege auth mint on TAP. TAP 0 holders enjoy a lifetime of 0 fees. So if you go over to inscribe, it is the first token that you can actually mint. There are some for sale, but you don't need to buy the ones for sale, because it's probably going to be cheaper for you to mint it, because most resale items, there's a premium put in by the people that own it. Okay. So you can insert the amount. So right now there's 101 remaining. Now, let's say I wanted to buy 5. So I'd insert 5. First, I'd connect my wallet. I'd insert 5. And then the cost would then go up according to the amount of my mint. Now, if I'm going to mint 1, it's 0.001 BTC. Once the 101 are completely minted out, then another round will be brought in, and they come in at 1,000. What does that mean? Each time the 1,000 sells out, then there will be an increase in the cost of the minting. So after the 101 are completely minted out, the cost will go up. And then a new batch will be brought in. Okay, so there's a max supply of 10,000. There's 9,000 reserved right now. We had the 1,000 out, and 899 mints have happened. Now, it doesn't mean 899 holders. It just means that there's 899 mints. Why is that important? Because, you potentially have some whales out here. and they obviously are banking on or believing in the Universe wallet because they are minting more than one tap zero. So it tells me that there's maybe some future sales going to happen because they're banking on some premium of future value here. And I can tell you that most ecosystems will offer you a OG pass, the OG pass for Unisat. Last I checked, it's now 6,000. It was at 5,000 US. It's now at 6,000 US. So you can see that as these marketplaces mature, the premium is given for the value that the marketplace creates for the users, because more and more users come in, and if they're going to be interacting with the marketplace, they want a way to save fees. And with the Tap Zero, you can enjoy a lifetime of zero fees. Now, I thought that was fantastic because as I was, listing, there's no fees for my listings. Like because you have to inscribe your tokens because all of the TAP tokens are on top of BRC20. So it's an inscription model. So you're inscribing, and there was no fees. That was cool. Like I said, there are always gas fees. You can't get around that. Okay. But I think that is a very interesting thing. Very, very nice. It's 11:02. I think in about 15 minutes, I'll wrap it up, but I'm going to just go through some more interesting things that I am looking forward to as 2025 approaches. Let's talk about the names again. Why am I going to do that? Because there's something coming really, really big down the pipeline. Think of .com. Remember the .com era? Okay. Well, the .com era was interesting, very lucrative, and then it leveled out. But now I'm talking about domain names. Oh, did I say that? People, what if you could do .btc? Just have that in your mind and get ready because there's a ton of stuff coming out that will be most interesting. So you're going to definitely want to register your name. Get your name before someone else gets it. Because I think that things move in waves, especially in this social media type investing and narrative type investing. So once the whole name thing starts to pick up, you will want to make sure that you've secured not only your name, but maybe some interesting names out there that others might want to actually pick up. And I can tell you that there are names that have been registered and they are for resale. And in fact, some names have actually sold. I'm going to go take a look at that right now. If I head over to activity and if I head over to sales, I'm going to tell you there was a name sale that happened, and I thought that was interesting. So somebody bought a name from someone. I mean, obviously, you can mint any name you want. So some of the people are minting famous names. It was US or us. I'm thinking it's just US. That somebody purchased that name. So the seller was CTO and the buyer was Bitmap Emporium. And they bought that around mid-December US. So Bitmap Emporium obviously saw some value in purchasing that name. And that was a total of 0.002 BTC. Think about that. So names are very, very interesting. And I mentioned to you that you definitely want to register your name so that you can get multipliers on these airdrops. definitely want to do that. And speaking of multipliers, because I did talk about the tap zero, that's a 10x multiplier. So for having tap zero, you get a 10x multiplier on your airdrop. Okay, so what's going to happen for 2025? My vision is, I'm going to cast a vision. My vision is that Tap Space Hall Tuesdays becomes your day. My vision is that someone else takes over the mic. And that's why all your mics are unmuted and you can talk. I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking, but it's fun. Start talking, getting to know people, because as you meet people and you connect, then you're likely to share alpha with people. You're likely to say, hey, I talked to Mr. San, or I talked to SD Sharma, and he seemed like a pretty good guy. And something has popped up here. I'm going to send him a little message, let him know, because obviously in crypto, we all have to do our own due diligence. But sometimes when we can have a little bit of a community, it really gets us in the spirit of trying to help one another to get to that place that we all want to get. I think we have to be independent, but interdependently, we can strive for whatever individual goals we have. Mine is to change my bloodline, centimillionaire. And so why would I have that goal? Well, I have that goal because I've looked at my specific goals, and that's my goal. Okay. And you've got yours. And there are different paths that we'll take, and sometimes we can help each other along the way. How many people do you know on crypto right now that are not in the Tap wallet ecosystem? Are you even sharing this with them? Are you letting them know, hey, join the Telegram? That's the other thing. How many people do we have in our Telegram? Like we should maybe have a community goal to increase that Telegram so that people can get the information, because that's a great place for some alpha. There's going to be trading bots that are coming, copy trades and so forth, of the larger whales within the rune space. Wouldn't you want that alpha? I'm gonna tell you this. I can't give advice, but I'll almost guarantee you this, because I have been around when this happens. When this thing goes fire, I'm gonna look like I was a prophet, and I'm not playing, okay? Because I came in because of Chico Crypto, who I love and adore. Where are you, Chico? Come back. Chico found a woman in Brazil or someplace, and he got married, and he has a baby, and now he's not doing videos anymore. Anyhow, I was an avid follower of Chico Crypto, and I got to tell you, he started talking about BRC20, about ordinals, and he started talking about Stamp and Kevin. And from his information, I started to do my own little research, and I have a little team with me, and that's a funny story, but I won't get into that. It's a family member that helped me at the time, because I was on the ETH chain, so I wasn't really big into Bitcoin. I was really hardcore into ETH, into another project called LRC. Still a great community, wonderful community, because I came from GameStop, and look it up, people. It's a Netflix movie. Look it up, GameStop. And that's coming in the future, I'll tell you. Anyhow, I got the information, and when I started to look into BRC20, it was madness. Like, our money got stuck for like days. We thought that we'd lost hundreds of dollars because the money wasn't moving. we were trying to mint things. Everything was being minted out. Like you couldn't even give your money. You couldn't even get the money into the wallet because it was stuck in the mempool. It was crazy. Then the fees were insane. I mean, some cases, like, you were trying to put maybe $500 on and it cost you $200. I'm not joking. It was insane because everybody and their Uber driver wanted to get in. And to be honest with you, most people don't even know about everything that's happening on Bitcoin. If you talk to the people on the other chains, they really don't know what is happening on Bitcoin. Okay. So think about that. At that time, it was so crazy to get in. You couldn't pay enough money to get in because you had to wait in a lineup. And so here I am trying to get in on, there's projects and things I missed out on because while I was waiting for the money to get to the wallet, the projects minted out. The stuff that I had my eyes set on went from one level to another level, and I got locked out because it was moving so fast. Compare that to right now. Crickets. There's nothing happening. I can't give advice, but I will tell you this: if you're serious, this is the time to do the work. This is not a pep talk, by the way. This is just serious, okay? This is my experience. That's why I just want to have a chat with you. This is the time to do the work. What kind of work can you do? First thing, manage your risk. Have a like a set amount that you're going to actually use within the crypto space. And when you go and make that transfer, understand in truth, okay, that your money can go to zero. Well, that doesn't sound good. That's what crypto is. It's sometimes you can be boom or bust. So that's why you want to manage your risk. You would not want to put your life savings in crypto. At least I don't think so. So you got to manage your risk. So know how much you will be able to put in and still sleep at night and still have like your bills paid and food in your fridge, because you're not an AI, people. You need food and you need a place to live. So once you have that amount figured out, get it in the appropriate wallets that you need to. And also, do not spend everything at once. I'm telling you, because what happens is you get so hyped. Okay, you're there, you've used all your ammo, and then wham bam, something new comes in and it's like, oh my God, I need more. So make sure that you hold back a little bit, maybe 10% or so of whatever you're putting into your wallet, just for some more ammunition, that when something comes up, like it's a hot mint or what have you, that you have that there. Also, you have to save sats in your wallet for trading. Okay. Now, if you're going to be trading on tap zero, if you're going to be trading on tap, just have tap zero. And then you don't have to worry about the extra fees. But there's always the minor fees. So you need money in your wallet so that when you're trading, you have enough so that you can make the trade. Because I'll tell you what will happen is you won't have enough. The mempool is clogged. Then you've got to try to put money in your wallet, and then you're going to be backed up. This is 100% going to happen. How do I know this? Because history always repeats itself. I don't know where Bitcoin is going to go and the price and this and that, but it is going to bring attention to itself. And then there's going to be people from the outside that want to come in because they haven't experienced it. Maybe you have already, so you know how it goes and you think you have it all planned out, but you won't have it all planned out when other people want to get in here and you see the excitement. Okay. Not to mention when AI agents and bots come to Bitcoin, game over, people. And I'm not playing. I'm going to put that out there. Once they come to Bitcoin and they figure out a way to do what we think we're doing, pack up, leave, because the professionals have arrived. My imagination says that there'll even come a time where we won't even be able to participate. We will literally be locked out of the market. The only thing that we'll be able to do is sell. Now, how far away is that imagination? That could be a year, 3, 4, 5, even a decade. But to be honest with you, things move so fast that could be sooner than later. And I want this documented that I actually said that, because some of the things I say are happening, and then I don't feel as silly, because I'm like, wait a minute, I said that. Why am I saying this? Because most of the people that are creatives are within crypto, and they create based on their imagination. Check out all the projects. You have to have a creative, imaginative mind to build out these projects. It's not, I mean, logic is needed, yes, but creativity is what pulls people in. And I think that we are not ready for bots and for AI agents, what they will do, because they can't interact in the real world. They can't have bank accounts. They can't go to grocery stores. They can't go to your job and do your job for you yet. Okay, because they have to make robotics and all that sort of stuff. But in what we're doing right now online, they can be in this world. They can multiply. And they could be the ones coming to Universe and, building out wallets and buying Tap Zero and buying iStamps and buying Rune Zero and all that sort of stuff. They can go to Runes and they can mint runes. Because basically they build that functionality in that they can do these things, or they don't even have to mint. They buy them. And I think what they're doing right now is they're basically creating worlds unto themselves, where they're building up their tokenomics that they can do a crossover. I think there was an AI agent who bought a quantum cat. Like, he changed his PFP to a quantum. So there's stuff happening out there. Okay. So let's just wrap this up, because nobody has come out and talked to me today. And that's okay. That's all right. Because I envision this space, you got to build one foot in front of the other. You got to take one brick, pile it on one at a time. I'm a very imaginative person, and I have to tell you, whatever I put my mind to, I do accomplish. And that's because I know that it does take time. And you have to be willing, and your goal has to be strong enough. And mine is centimillionaire. I have that goal, and I believe that there are parts of crypto that can get me there, as well as other parts. But I'm telling you, you've got to believe. Hey, BTC Socks, I'm wrapping this up, but if you are open and willing, then you should come out tomorrow to stamp, because we're going to stamp it up tomorrow. So you should come out tomorrow. So I'm going to be wrapping this up. Come out there, because you're an artist, and we can feature you tomorrow, because we need to learn more about stamp art. And so if I can make you a speaker, DM me or whatever, or if you don't want to commit and you just want to pop in, because every Wednesday is going to be a stamp day over at the Universe, and we want to be highlighting the different artists in stamp. If you don't have stamp art, people, that is, you're doing yourself, let's just put it this way. Stamp is so closely related to Bitcoin that I would almost say stamp is Bitcoin. And stamp art is the forever art. Why? Because we've talked about it so much. It is secure, transferable artifacts maintained permanently on top of Bitcoin. And unlike the other artworks, as much as they're fantastic and they're great artwork in ordinals, I mean, they're fantastic pieces of art, they can be pruned. So stamp is that one step above, in that it cannot be removed from Bitcoin. It's the forever art. And as people come into Bitcoin and they're serious about wanting to preserve their art and their sats and their Bitcoin, they're going to stack stamp art. So if you are interested, I'd really like to see you tomorrow because I'm about to wrap this up because people have parties to go to and all that.
Hello.
Hey, son, what's going on?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, actually I was late and I'm waiting to let you finish to ask the question. But now I heard you written up.
Oh, you know what? Always just if that is the case, I do apologize because I was inviting people to talk and then, we don't want this space to be just empty, so I was just filling it up with kind of going through the ecosystem of SRC20, but sorry, the ecosystem of Stamp and the protocols and stuff. What's your question quickly and then we do have to wrap it up.
The first one, if you remember, we talked last space on last Tuesday. So, is there any progress, or is your developer listen when the space is finished? They listen recording, or do I need to ask them again on Discord or anywhere?
Uh, no, I'm going to address a couple of the things that you had talked about. Okay.
Yeah.
And here's what I can tell you. Okay. One of the questions that you asked that I kind of addressed was with the iStamps. You do need 10 minimum iStamps to automatically collect fees from the Stamp Art Marketplace and from the SRC20 Marketplace. The reason that you do need minimum 10 is that initially it was a minimum of 50, but to create more of an opportunity for everyone, they decreased the threshold. So there's really no reason for a community wallet. If we wanted a community wallet, we would kind of have to go to the universe and kind of figure out how we as a community could set one up. But for now, there is going to be no official community wallet to get the fees. So you are best off to go and make sure that you have 10 iStamps so that you can get 50% of the fees. The other question that I recall you specifically having is when we go to other marketplaces, like other wallets like Unisat, Magic Eden, you have your Bitcoin and you want to transact, but the money's in your Universe wallet. They don't have connectivity for the Universe wallet. Well, I can tell you that potentially in January and or February, anywhere that you can connect your Unisat wallet, you will be able to connect your Universe wallet. Okay. Now, for the okay, that's really great. However, that's only for places that take Unisat wallet. If they don't accept the Unisat wallet, then likely we won't have the ability to connect our Universe wallet. So if you're dealing with any marketplaces where Unisat is acceptable, then we should be able to also connect our Universe wallets. And we have to wait more than likely, I would say probably the beginning of March for that to happen. Okay.
If that happen, then they we go tap token airdrop. So
Yeah.
if our wallet connect to another side, then we are able to list that token as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I really loved all your questions last week, and that's why we've created this open space. So I think that please continue to bring the questions. And they do listen to these calls eventually. And so they are very open to hearing from the community. And they obviously have a priority. And right now, one of their priorities is getting the SRC20 marketplace up and running. But they're very open to hearing your feedback. And so I hopefully I answered those questions for you.
Yeah, another question is, when we open our tap wallet.io website,
Yeah.
on there we index most probably everything like BRC20, Roon, Tap, DMT, Bitmap, LRC20, SRC20,
Yeah.
stamp. So if is in possibility if we add the minting tool as well on there, like if I open LRC20, we do indexing only whatever the data in there, but we can't mint the new token which is coming next. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. So you would like to go into the indexing, and
Yeah.
then you'd like to pull up one of the lists, and then once the tokens populate, you'd like to see a minting function.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if I go to SRC20 and if I see stamp here, right? And so it's like, oh, okay, great. I can see the amount of holders, that it's completely, that one's completely minted out. So you couldn't, right? But let's say that the minting progress bar was at 50%, then there would be a button that says mint. Similar to right now,
Runes.
if you head over to Mint Runes, I mean, this
Yeah.
is a little bit different because they've
Yeah.
given Runes their own special minting button. But if you go over to Mint Runes, you can see the progress bar, and then there's a mint button. You can hit mint, and it's so easy.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
this,
Do you have Rune Zero, by the way?
uh, no, no, yeah. Honestly, no. I got two tap zero, a couple of ice stamp, uh, and there was some more.
How
Yeah.
many how many how many eye stamps are you at so far, if you
Uh,
don't mind me asking?
honestly, I got two.
Oh,
I
two.
minted at the very earlier.
Okay, so you're gonna need 8 more to get the fee, so you can work your
Yeah.
way up for that. Yeah, you can
Yes.
work your way up.
Actually, you know, this time we all stuck to fully entered in our on the alt and waiting to any movement from there, then take profit and do the other things whichever we need.
Oh, right. So yeah,
Yeah.
so you're gonna take profit from there and then move it over. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, have
yeah, I'm fully in the alt, fully in now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, have a strategy. Have a strategy for that. By the way, we are doing a stamp space tomorrow. I know it's the first and many people will be like waking up groggy and whatever, but you know what? Crypto doesn't really care about the holidays, unfortunately, and
Yeah,
it just keeps going, and sometimes like I heard someone say like now is not the time to be taking a vacation. This is the time to double down. Like if you're serious about changing your bloodline, there's no like, okay, yeah, maybe tomorrow. No, this is the time to get the alpha, get the information, and double down. There will be a time to get
time for
away, do
time
whatever,
for
but
hunting.
yeah. So I just think that if 2025 is going to do what they're telling us it's going to do and what we're seeing, like these narratives building, now is the time to gain all of the information in the alpha. So every Tuesday we come here, it's open, everybody's mics are off, you talk. Wednesday is going to be dedicated to stamp. And Thursdays, I'm going to try to make it a runes day, and I'm going to try to get in some of the bigger names on runes and so forth. And then Friday will be kind of like current events, like what's happening overall in crypto. Yes, we're in Bitcoin, but we want to see what's happening everywhere because that can translate and come over into Bitcoin, and we want to be ready. So there's no real housekeeping to do. What I can say is I want to thank everybody for coming on. Thank you, San, for just jumping on here. Thank everyone. Um, like you guys are amazing, and I just want to say happy 2025. And this is probably the final time for 2024 that this is going to be allowed. So I'm going to rock us out with a really cool song. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you in 2025.
Thank you too as well.